Are you an entrepreneur or ready to become a boss? Welcome to Hawaii Boss, the business podcast made in Hawaii, where you will hear from island movers and shakers on who they are and their impact on our state. And now, step into the office of your host for Hawaii Boss, David Pettijohn.
Aloha, Hawaii Boss podcast crew listening in out there, you heavy duty listeners. You're listening in on your iPad, iPhone. You can listen on Apple Music, and you can listen on Spotify. You can hear us all over the place, but especially on YouTube, you get the video here. And we're excited today. We're going to get in some real live video. We're in the boss's office, actually the boss's gym. Today we're very special guest. Today we're going into his office, Professor Aldo Caveirinha. Is that how you say that one?
Yes.
Okay. And so Professor, again, that's what they, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you're a master. And so we welcome you here. Aloha.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah. So I love it that you're right in your gym there. And so it feels like after this, we can go roll a little bit.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. See, he's ready. But hey, tell me one thing first. When someone, after a good fight, I hear all the time say, "Boah!" What is it? What is it? Everybody going big. And what does that mean? Nobody speaks fala Portuguese over here, right?
Yeah, the guys from Brazil, when they won the fight, they beat somebody else in the tournament, or they have a gold medal or something. They always say, "Porra," "Porra" is like a os.
Yeah. So it's like they're really gearing up, getting pumped up. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When you hear the whole corner over there, the whole
Everybody,
thing. Everybody's getting pumped up. So I like that. It must be, I've heard this Brazilian, Portuguese, very emotional, and they really show their feelings. And you're Brazilian.
Yeah.
So there's lots of, tell me about it.
Yeah, like a Brazilian people, they're very they show the emotions all the time, if I call you my friend because you're my friend, I can invite you to my house all the time, I can hug you,
right.
You know what I mean? And I shake your hand all the time, that's how you do all the time. Sometimes, I feel like people don't understand, because I shake the hand and they hug the person,
we're not friends yet. We're not friends yet.
Yeah, I see people like this sometimes. But in Brazil, that's how we do it all the time,
Well, maybe that's why you see a lot of folks in Hawaii, because the Polynesian culture is similar. A lot of hugging,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we're interested in how you got to Hawaii, but first, we're interested in your background and upbringing. We've seen all the documentaries and we've seen things where we live a very good life here in the United States. And so we don't know what a favela is and what that's like growing up in a favela. Tell me about your upbringing, your coming up, and then how the Jiu-Jitsu helped you through that. So tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah. So I started training Jiu-Jitsu in Brazil back in the days. I'm young, like a little kid. I'm like 9 years old when I started training Jiu-Jitsu.
Is that normal? Is that normal?
In Brazil, yes. In Brazil,
okay.
Yes. Because Jiu-Jitsu from Brazil, right? Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And the kids start training there always like a 4 years old, 5 years old, they start training Jiu-Jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, and football, and the Capoeira is very popular in Brazil,
Sure.
Everybody does. And I started, I'm 9 years old, and then I grew up in favela, like a modest area in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time after my dad and my mom divorced. When my mom and my dad together, we have a good life, everything's all right. But when my mom and my dad divorced, and then my mom have 3 kids, three boys and 1 girl, 4 total. And imagine, single mother, no job, she's gonna provide to us.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna pay the rent, nice place. And then that's why we moved to favela for a couple of years.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I live inside the favela until my 14 years old. I live in favela. After that, I moved to another city, another area. And then my life has changed after 14 years old,
Okay, so what was able to, it sounds like these popular sports, but they're not just sports. Maybe they're avenues, roads out of the favela for a lot of youth.
Oh yeah. And you just saved my life, It saved my brother's life, because I remember my mommy, she don't have a job, and then you just make me, my brother's very calm, you don't have stressful because you go train all the time, you know what I mean? And I started work, 11 years old, 12 years old, I started work to help my mom.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
What kind of work?
Yeah.
11 years old in the inside the favela before you left?
No. I work outside favela. 7-Eleven place, like a
Sure.
7-Eleven store.
Yeah, convenience store.
Exactly. I work the one, and then I wash a car outside as well. I sell ice cream on the beach,
Uh-huh. And this is
Yeah,
all the same time while you're training too.
Exactly. That's why they call me Caveirinha, because I don't have a time in training with a kids class,
Uh-huh.
because I work at the time,
Uh-huh.
and then I train with adults. That's why people call me Caveirinha, because Caveirinha means a skull. They
Uh-huh.
call me like a skeleton. Oh, skeleton,
Okay.
come train with me, blah, blah, blah. They make a joke, right?
Okay.
And then that's my nickname, because when I started training jiu-jitsu, 9 years old, I'm super skinny.
Okay.
And I don't train with kids, I train with adults. I don't have a time training with the kids. That's why they call me Caveirinha.
So you were the skin and bones little kid that they threw around the gym until you were
Exactly. They only use me for warm up.
But then after a while, maybe so then you progressed and you started to, because maybe you learned how to use your little weight. You had to learn how to do it differently than other people. You couldn't muscle people, but then you started getting bigger. So you already had. Tell us how your skill grew over time and what that meant for you. Were you able to start making money, or was it a career path then?
Yeah, so I think that's helped me a lot, because I train with adults. The same you say, like I learned how to use my body, my weight, like I learned how to use everything because I train with adults, all right?
Right.
And I started teach jiu-jitsu after a couple of years, like when I'm 16 years old, I received my purple belt. When I'm 16 years old, I opened my first academy, my first business. When I'm 16 years old.
In Brazil?
In Brazil. I live in Rio de Janeiro. I grew up in Rio de Janeiro, but I moved to another city, Belo Horizonte. Belo Horizonte is between Rio and São Paulo.
Okay.
The city is between Rio and São Paulo. I moved for this city for open my first academy when I'm 16 years old. I'm crazy, brother.
Well, you must have. Well, since you were there since you were 9 years old in the gym, you must have picked up something along the way. Did some of the guys teach you how to run the business? How did that work?
So my professor, Carlos Gracie Jr., he always talked to me about business. He always talked to me about, like a BJJ lifestyle, how I can help my family, blah, blah, blah. And then when I moved to Belo Horizonte for the city, I still have his support. He always signed for me everything. He always support me, give me good ideas. That's how I learn how make business, how I take care of my academy.
Did you go all by yourself, or you had some teammates with you?
No, by myself.
So you had to go train. You had to train your teaching, your faculty. Yeah.
So I train in Rio, and I help teach in Belo Horizonte, right? And then I teach Monday to Thursday night. Thursday night, always I go Rio. I train Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I come back Sunday night to Belo Horizonte. Man, that's a hard time in my life. I did that for 4 years. For 4 years.
Oh,
I train 4 times a week, and back to Rio and back to Belo Horizonte.
Maybe your family never saw you.
Oh yeah, I miss my family all the time, but I don't have a choice. But I need to provide, for my family. I need to help my mom. I don't have a choice.
Right. Well, so you were helping your mom at 16 still. You were going over there, traveling back and forth. You had support of Master Carlos Gracie. Sounds like at 16, maybe you had some skills. How did he know? How did you know that you were good at what you were doing?
So I have a great results all the time in the tournaments, I started competing, I'm 9 years old, and then always I get good medals, and my master, my team, everybody say, oh man, you're very talented for jiu-jitsu, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And always I place, always I get good medals. And that's why, I build my name a little bit,
Right.
They talk about me, they say, oh, he's a young boy, but he's a very talented, very tough boy,
Right.
That's how I started, build my name.
Right. So then you went to this other city and you started getting class and you filled it up. You did it for 4 years and then someone else took over, or when did you decide to like, I can do this for 4 years. I've done it. I'm still training. I'm getting better at jujitsu still. Now, were you looking for another challenge, or did someone tell you, hey, maybe you should go try something else? Did it come inside from you or from someone else?
No, always I have like influence. Always I see my master like my mentor, always he give me good advice and support, that's how I learn about business. And I believe myself, like, okay, maybe I can survive for that. I can make this one my lifestyle, and my job.
Right.
That's how I see jiu-jitsu in my life.
Yeah. And so you were in Brazil, and you made the leap to Hawaii. Now that's a big jump. Did you know someone over here? How did Hawaii come across your vision?
Yeah. So, and then when past couple years, I become black belt. You know what I mean? I teach and compete around the world, and they have affiliates around the world. And then one guy from Hawaii, he contacted the association, and then he want a teacher, a head instructor to teach in Hawaii.
Okay.
That's how they contacted me.
Okay.
But this first guy, when he bring me here, I don't have a good time with him.
Oh no.
Because he lied to me. He's stealing my money for 3 years.
Oh.
I started to have a good time in Hawaii after I started work with Rhino.
Okay.
Rhino, he's a great guy. He's a honest guy. He's a businessman. I learned a lot with Rhino. And they worked for almost 9 years, me and the Rhino.
That is so awesome. But there's a cautionary tale there, especially if you're coming from another country. But sometimes businesses, the first time doesn't go as well, maybe, or sometimes business partners, it's hard sometimes.
Exactly.
When did you decide that you needed to move on? And I guess you found out that all these things were happening, and you found a good partner, it sounds like. So What's been the difference now that you have a good partner? What kind of things have you been able to do now, your business?
Oh, everything changed because this guy lied to me, all right? He's stealing my money. And then he want to sign another contract for me, another 3 years. I say, no, I don't want to renew contract with you anymore,
No, thanks, yeah.
And then when I talked to Ryan one day, we have a lunch, I just explained to him about my situation. And he just said, bro, you want to open the gym with me? Let's go. I'm down. I said, okay, let's go. Boom. And then we started. And then I have a great time with Ryan. He always supports me and my family. You know what I mean? God bless me a lot, give me opportunity to work with Ryan.
Well, and I noticed that, and I want to highlight that the name of all of your gyms, it's CJJ Family.
Yes.
Yeah. So that seems important to you. Why did, a lot of places are, they're on how we can, dominate, or they're after a certain name, and that's Gracie. You've got the name already, but why did you feel like you had to put family in there? So
that's how I think, I don't see you have everything for yourself. You need to share with your friends and your family, I become like this. Always I see family first. Always I think it's a family first, because business, everyone can teach jiu-jitsu, sell jiu-jitsu. I don't sell jiu-jitsu.
Right.
I sell lifestyle.
Right.
I sell, I may be happy to see you have a good life, change your diet, you become like a different person. You know what I mean? And that's I talk to my guys all the time. You need to think like a family, because money, when you work hard, the money scam. No need you think about money 100 times, 24 hours. You need to be happy first. You know what I mean? Be happy, working out, everything's come to you. When you work clean and work hard, everything's come to you after. No problem.
Yeah, and I noticed that. So you go to different gyms and different, there's lots of, like you say, there's lots of Brazilian jiu-jitsu gyms, different martial arts out there. But, what sets you apart, I think, is that there's this different culture that you try to foster. And now
Exactly.
that seems like it's paid off for you. How many students and facilities do you currently have throughout the islands?
So now you have three academies in Oahu. We have 3 academies here. because COVID, you closed 2 academies because the COVID came and then the school don't survive. But for the next year, my plan, you have another maybe 6 or 7 new CJJF academies here, Oahu, and the Maui and the Big Island. You go open another academies in different islands.
Sure.
That's the plan for the next year. You know what I mean? I want to share my knowledge with people around the world. But now we have affiliate in Japan, we have in Mexico, Italy, French, German, Portugal, Brazil, California. We have affiliates around the world. You know, CJJF around the world you have.
Right. And there's different martial arts groups have that, you know, you'll have the Taekwondo Association, the International, or karate, or, you know, different things. But Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has become so very popular, you know, because of mixed martial arts, I think, you know, Joe Rogan and all these guys,
UFC,
you know.
right?
Right.
The UFC making jiu-jitsu very popular in the United States.
Yeah, very popular now. Now everybody knows what a bulldog choke or a Darce choke is, but that's what makes it so interesting. But it's hard to learn all these things in jiu-jitsu. You were talented at 16, having a purple belt. Tell us, you know, there's always a process for people, and sometimes they say Brazilian jiu-jitsu, that takes forever. So tell us what the balance is, why it takes so much time for Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and why, you know, what it means actually, you know, advancing.
So some academies, when they teach jiu-jitsu, they always talk about like an old school. You know what I mean? They always say, no, I'm an old school guy, blah, 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 blah. But what means old school? They don't know.
Right.
They say that, but they don't know.
Right.
I will tell you something. My association, we have a belt system. You have a curriculum. Why you have a curriculum and belt system? Because the guys like you, okay? Maybe you have a kids, you know, like you're a businessman, you're a very busy guy, you don't have a time to train twice a day. But how you get your blue belt, your purple belt, your brown, your black belt?
Right.
I need to create curriculum for you.
Right.
Or otherwise, when you come to my academy, I say, bro, I'm so sorry, I can't accept you because you're not pitbull, you know?
Right.
Only pitbull guys can train me. I cannot do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the jiu-jitsu is for everyone. Jiu-jitsu for everyone. In my academy, we respect everyone. If you don't want to compete, no problem. If you don't want to get a black belt, no problem. If you just want to learn jiu-jitsu, come to learn. No, everybody's welcome in my academy. We have a guys, they love competition. You have a guys, they never compete. But everyone is the same on the mat. You treat the same, everyone.
Okay.
You promote everyone the same. You give stripe the same. You know what I mean? That's why CJF growing around the world, because you respect everybody and type of the body. You know what I mean?
Right. And so it's amazing that you've created all these affiliates. So looking out there and all of this, how many students are you looking at right now that you again, welcome into your family?
So I think in my association now in Brazil, United States, Europe, if you put everybody together today, maybe about, I don't know, maybe 10,000 people, I think.
That's still a large group. And so it sounds like there's a smaller part of that large group that really likes to compete.
Yeah.
And that are really sort of gung-ho at it. Maybe the younger guys, maybe there's some older guys. Where do you take, I think maybe there's sometimes competitions here in Hawaii, maybe after COVID, more will come, but where are these competitions at, and how do you qualify to get in them?
Yeah. So we follow IBJJF rules. They have a good BJJ federation, right? You say IBJJF is an international federation.
Okay.
They promote tournaments around the world, and if you want to compete the world tournaments, you need to fight another ones first. You need to qualify. You need to make a point, and then you're gonna be available or allowed to make a registration and fight the big ones.
Sure. Okay.
They make small ones for make points, like qualified. Yeah.
And they do the same thing for other sports, running or whatever. They want to make sure that they don't crowd the it's precious time having all these people come to Worlds, and they don't want, if you don't know how to really do it so that's why they have those regional things. So how many competitions are there in Hawaii?
In Hawaii is not that much, only maybe 2 competitions or 3 a year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The good news is next year started the Pacific Federation here. Me and my friend Leandro Niza, we're gonna be director for this federation.
Oh, so there'll be a federation site or whatever.
Yes,
mm-hmm.
Yes, because the plan is you bring big tournaments for Hawaii, because Hawaii now only local tournament. That's no good. If you want to be a champion in California, that's hard. If you only compete in Hawaii, if you want to try compete, like in California, like a Pan American World Tournament, that's hard for your place there.
Right. Imagine, so then you can never qualify for Worlds because the competition, your entry level competition is so high.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's why this federation go make a good relationship with IBJJF and UAE Federation. UAE Federation is the Abu Dhabi Federation. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
That's the plan. You bring Abu Dhabi tournaments for Hawaii. You know what I mean? It's going to be amazing, man.
It'll be another, great. Another destination, sort of just like Abu Dhabi is. Hawaii is another destination. A lot of people got money. They want to come and compete out here and
fight and surf.
That's right. That's right. Enjoy some sunshine, and you don't in the middle of winter, and you don't have to worry about that.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think it's going to be a great idea, Hawaii have this federation, because man, you need plus a lot of different crazy stuff in Hawaii now, I know the guys, they travel to Milan, they have blue belt, they come back purple belt, they travel 2 months after, they come back brown belt, 1 year after black belt, you need to try a control, and show people you need to be more professional,
right?
They have a lot of good stuff now.
Yeah, so that you can really demonstrate it, and then demonstrate those skills in different situations. It's not just being able to know how to apply it one time, one direction, but so as you teach these folks, tell us about some of the, I guess, moral lessons. You talk about family, so you're teaching your family different things. Sure, you're teaching them how to control another person and defend yourself, but what other lessons are you trying to tell? Maybe in your young person class, maybe your teenagers and stuff. What kind of things are you teaching them to help them see their future?
So the first thing, you always talk to my students, they cannot use jiu-jitsu in the street, if they don't need to protect themselves, I fight in the street a couple of times, because I want to fight, but just protect myself, you know what I mean?
Yourself or your family.
People. Exactly, I never provoke, another guy, but sometimes I protect myself, you know what I mean? And I share the information with my students all the time, I say, guys, don't provoke nobody, don't fight, but protect yourself. You know what I mean? You need to protect yourself.
And learning how to, de-escalate things, because you can get puffed up, someone gets excited, then you can start going too, and then that it escalates. But being able to diffuse a situation too, that's a hard skill, but sometimes people, that's good that you teach that. It seems like sometimes some places, I think we all want our kids to do that, to not start fights, but I think all of us still want our kids to be able to defend themselves and not get beat up too,
Exactly.
Right. Because then we feel helpless.
Oh yeah, of course. And I'm so glad to my job, to have my job, I see people come to my academy, they drop weight, they change their life, Sometimes people get anxiety, they come in here, they be very relaxed, you know what I mean? People come in here, they're afraid for everything, and then after 6 months, they change everything, that's amazing,
Right. Well, and I think it is amazing. And I think exercise does that, but jiu-jitsu actually works your mind too at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's not just, I can kick something, but there's someone on top of you, and you have to deal with this situation. There's no, I can't go run away. You have to deal with the situation, and you could sometimes people, panic,
Exactly.
So you teach them. So a lot of things you do teach people how to function under stress.
Oh yeah. You teach everything for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because jiu-jitsu help you not only physically, but it's mentally,
Right.
Like mentally is more important than physically sometimes.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And that's why like important to people learning martial arts. I think martial arts is amazing. I don't talk about jiu-jitsu. I talk about everything: judo, taekwondo,
Right.
karate. You know what I mean? People training martial arts. You know what I mean? They do sport. They have a different life. You can see that. People have a different life. You learn everything.
So so then sometimes it becomes a challenge to help somebody gets going, and then how do you motivate people to come out? Because you got people that sign up and they're like, oh, they come once a month, or how have you helped, or what did you do to help people come out more and retain those people that are part of your now jiu-jitsu family?
So every week you always ask people on the line, for they share the knowledge with another friends, all right? And we have a guys like a 55 years old, 65 years old training with us. You know what I mean? The same class, you have the guys 55 years old, you have a 16, you have a 18, 19, and then everybody help each other. That's why I make everybody motivate. Because the guy coming here, oh, I'm 45. Oh, they think he's old, Oh, I'm old. I said, no. Come enjoy. Then they came, they see how people talk to them, everybody help each other. That's how they get more motivated to keep training and don't stop training.
Except when an adult comes in, maybe a 45-year-old adult comes in, maybe when you were younger, and they say, hey, Caveirinha, you come work with this guy. And then you lock him up, and then maybe when you were 10, 12 years old, maybe they quit after that. They said, oh no, this 12-year-old, he just got me. I'm done. There's no way.
People always complain about my knee on the belly.
Oh, knee on the back.
Yeah, no, knee on the belly.
Okay, on the belly. Okay, yeah, trying to.
Yeah, people always complain about it. They hate. They say, no, don't touch your knee, my belly, please. Always people hate that around the world.
Yeah, because that's interfering with your diaphragm and your breathing. It's the first thing. Yeah. It's just like covering their mouth, right? Same thing, covering their mouth. Okay, I got your stomach right now, and once you got their breath, you've got everything, right?
Yeah, I compete my whole life. Like I love competition. My whole life I compete. I stopped compete 4 years ago because. Man, like I'm so busy. I need to do a lot of stuff. I have my wife, I have my daughter. I need to take care of my family. You know what I mean? I do like 100 different stuff, And I feel like I don't have a time to make a camp anymore, Because when you go to the big tournament, you need to train at least 3 months before.
Yeah, you have to have, what do they call it, a training camp?
Training camp, you cannot do just 2 weeks, 4 weeks and try. You cannot do that.
No.
You know what I mean?
Because, right.
And I compete for my whole life. I say, man, time to stop. I have a medals, all tournaments, around the world. I compete around the world. I get good medals around the world. I say, okay, man, for me, it's time to stop. Just take care of my association. But the events, just one fighter, right? Like a super fight. This one, right? The type of event, just one fight. Maybe this one I can still do. I want to do that once. But tournament, bracket, 5 fights the same day, 7 fights the same day.
No. Yeah, you earned the right to stop, I think, after a while. And like you said, after all the medals, you have to start deciding, because you want to start enjoying some of the things as you're getting older and you're having a successful life. Now but it doesn't appear like you're letting, kind of slowing down so you can take more time off. You freed up your time so you could do more stuff. Yeah. So now how in this COVID thing, how is that affecting you right now? Is it still affecting you, the COVID?
Yeah, because now we cannot open the gym 100%. You still need to respect the rules. You need to just like teach less classes. You know what I mean? Like all numbers go like a 0.5% now. Like a
right.
And but it's still okay, man. I cannot complain. I mean, I'm still healthy. I'm here. I survive. I cannot complain,
Right. Well, it sounds like again, during the pandemic, there were a lot of people that had a lot of successful health stories too.
Exactly.
Yeah, the ones who really kept concentrating during some people were very successful and really excelled. As people are coming out as maybe they didn't exercise and things like that, what words of advice do you have to someone who maybe is thinking about starting a health routine for themselves?
So people can do a lot of stuff today, like because COVID, a lot of people learning by YouTube, online,
Right.
Have a lot of people afraid to go to the gym, and another guys, they don't want to go training online anymore. They get tired for training online.
Right.
They come back to the gym. I think you have like a 50-50 right now,
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people, they want to do online, and a lot of people want back to the gym now,
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah, everybody's kind of experimenting with this thing and the masks and all that stuff, and it seems like the vaccines have been helping, or at least they tell us that works. And so now we can get back together a little bit more if we're vaccinated. So that's good. But so on an average night, what would an average night look for a new person coming on and they're saying, hey, I'm just getting started. Maybe I have a little bit of, I did some judo in high school, maybe that's all they've got. And then they come in and how do you start them off? How do you assess and all that?
Yeah, so we accept people, they show us the vaccination card, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when they came in here, they don't go with everybody. They stay outside in the corner with me for 1 week, sometimes 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? They sign the waiver. If they feel the fever, they do something home, don't show up to the gym.
Right.
Don't come to the gym, wait 2 weeks at home, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like you try make like everybody healthy on the mat,
Right.
But the only thing you can do now, like when people enjoy, they don't go with the group the first week, they stay outside a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I can see, you know what I mean?
And it sounds like, and it sounds like some people maybe have training partners or a small group that they get together and they train together. They come in together and they train.
Exactly.
Right. And so they know they're kind of in their own little bubble already and keeping it safe.
Yeah, that's why we do in the gym now. You make a little group for the kids, for example, you put some kids train together for more than 30 days, the group train together, and then another group go stay the other side, another group to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we do now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, it's really caused a lot of challenges, but it sounds like you guys were up to the task and just sort of like, okay, how do we fix this? Because we want people to come in. We want people to be successful. We want people to be healthy.
Oh man, it's like a lot complicated now,
Very.
Making me feel like this, like.
Yeah, and you have to keep all track of it and everything. And if someone comes in, you have to show them the book and all these different things.
And plus the government lock the ways, open for the tourists. After they lock the ways again when the tourists back to their home, like make me feel like this. Oh, what can I do,
Well, yeah. Well, a lot of businesses are feeling that way because, it's up and down like that, different rules and then changing and then it's rising. And so hats off to you for trying to get through it and make it successful. And it sounds like during this time, you guys really thought and made plans for future growth.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we talk about the federation, because almost 2 years, nobody speak for Jiu-Jitsu academies with the government. Nobody sit up the middle with them. Nobody protect us. Nobody, represent Jiu-Jitsu.
Right.
That's why me and Professor Leandro Niza, you have an idea to create a federation, because look now, almost 2 years, nobody go and represent us, speak for us with the government. That's so bad. That's a very bad. You know what I mean?
And it's hard for you to go to, like you say, to California and try and be a leader in the California group because they already have all their people picked. So creating a federation here makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Because imagine, if I want to talk to the government, if I say, oh, Professor Aldo want to talk to you guys, they don't care for Professor Aldo. Mm-hmm. But if I say, oh, I'm the represent this federation represent Jiu-Jitsu, when I have a meeting with you guys, because like you need to understand, about the rules, because every
Right.
2 weeks they say something different. Every 2 weeks, you know what I mean? That's crazy.
Well, I bet there's, besides the two of you, I'm sure there's a lot of others that will sign on, but creating it's a lot of extra work. And that's what I mean. Maybe you're not competing anymore, but now you're using your professional skills in another way. You're trying to create
Exactly.
another source or resource for the local gyms and you're not trying to compete with all of the gyms. You're saying, hey, let's all get together
No.
and let's all have a voice together. So when the federal, when international says this, well, we can say, no, here's our say, here's what we want to say.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Because otherwise you cannot survive. You know what I mean? I cannot see my opponent like my enemy. My opponent is not my enemy. Of course not. You know what I mean? My opponent push me to make me better. He push me. If I don't have opponent, I'm gonna be lazy. You know what I mean?
Well, that's same for the kids too. They don't have good opponents, then they don't, or they don't have, because sometimes there's good kids on the Big Island too, BJ Penn Gym and lots of other gyms putting out good kids and winning championships in, in Vegas and things. So, how do you have all their phone numbers? How do you get them all together?
Yeah, I contact with everybody. But you apply the same idea and the same vision for business. You know what I mean? You cannot see somebody open the business over there, you hate him. No, make your business better. Work hard more, improve more. You know what I mean? Don't pray for his business fail.
That's no way to do it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just look, say, okay, this guy he make great. Okay, how I can do this? Okay, I'm gonna be better as well. I will try my best. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or create a culture that's different than anyone else. Like you said, I don't teach jujitsu. I teach a lifestyle, a way that you can, a healthy lifestyle. And that's different. And that's different. And also, that family component says, okay, I'm different than, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, .com or whatever it is,
Exactly. No, because I saw people now so stressful for everything. Man, don't be stressful, just relax, we cannot do nothing, Now is a pandemic, is a COVID-19, is a Delta. You need to be strong and wait for the next year and start everything new mind, new year.
Right.
I mean, next year for sure is going to be great for everyone. For sure. I believe.
I believe that too. I think we need more excitement like that and more energy in that direction. Now, as you start and you're looking forward to all of this growth, do you have enough staff members to be teachers out in all these places? Because I know everyone else has a hard time finding employees, but how about for you? That sounds like maybe a barrier to growth. How have you guys have you thought about your staffing needs?
Yeah, so we have a guys teacher around the world. Some guys from Brazil, some guys from local guys, like Japan. The guy teach there. His name is Ben. He's from America, but his wife is from Japan, and then she lived there. He just moved and lived with her after they marry. And Germany, we have people from Germany teach there. Have a local guys teach. Yeah, most people from local country, like a.
Yeah, I see. And so then they come back and they'll teach for a while and then go back, or they kind of
we have some guys like this. Yeah, you have some guys that do rotation. Yeah.
Okay.
And some guys leave the country, stay there. Yeah. But man, this past 2 years, oh my gosh, it's crazy, bro. A lot of academies closed. A lot of guys, a lot of academies shut it down. I have a friends lose their job. That's bad.
Yeah,
but
well,
they come back. They come back for sure.
Well, and again, all of it could have been, had to start from scratch. But thank goodness you were able to keep going and provide that support. And there were a few other gyms that were able to keep going. So thank goodness. And you're providing a great example to all of us. But before we go, we always like to kind of get to know you a little bit more. And of course, since we're talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you have to tell us of a time when you were you ever choked out?
If I tap, somebody choke me?
Yeah, but without tapping, you choked you out out cold, passed out?
I never pass out. I never get sleepy when people choke
Sleep.
me.
Yeah. Choke you out.
But I make some guys to sleep.
Well, that says a lot about you though. So in sometimes the size doesn't matter when you're fighting. Sometimes you're fighting a bigger guy, or is it mostly the same size, same weight class?
Yeah, in the tournament they have two divisions. All right, you can fight your division, and you can go open weight. We call absolute is an open weight. So I compete about 30 times open weight. I get gold medals a couple times, with big guys,
Right.
like a 240 something, 300 pounds. Oh my gosh,
so that's a challenge, huh? Why do you want to try and do that? Because you're like, I think I can beat him. My jiu-jitsu is better than his weight. Is that what?
Yeah, because sometimes the guy is a bigger, heavy, but he's slow. And you're small, but you're going to be more faster than him for something,
Right.
And then you take advantage sometimes for that because you're small and he's a super big, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can move around his body faster than he can get to his other part over here, right?
Exactly,
Right.
But sometimes you have a big mistake because the guy is a faster, big, and stronger.
And then you're like,
and you get smashed. You get smashed.
So tell me your most exhilarating victory, something that meant the most to you.
Oh my gosh, man.
So many, huh?
So many, but the thing that makes me very proud is about, helping my family, help my students, help my academy, help people, I have a social project in Brazil. I have 11 social project in Brazil. I help 1,000 kids, bro. For 25 years, I do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just helping them come out of the favela. What kind of programs? These different things that.
You teach him jiu-jitsu for free for them. You find sponsor to give a gift for them. You find sponsor to pay registration for them. You know what I mean? You try to support, the kids, because I feel super good, man. That's why I'm just smiling. That's why I put my head in the pillow and sleep every night. It's so good because this past 25 years, I just help others all the time, help people, kids, help everybody. That's how I do it my whole life.
Well, listen, again, a great example to all of us. Not everyone, it feels like this is your life calling, jiu-jitsu, but then also still giving back, not just jiu-jitsu because you love jiu-jitsu, but also using the jiu-jitsu as a way to really bring people up.
Oh yeah, for sure. I have students, they teach around the world, man. These guys, back the days in Brazil, they don't have a job. They don't have only high school. They just finished high school. They don't have a college. And these guys now, they buy a house for the family. They buy a house, for the parents, man. That's amazing, They help the family in Brazil,
Right.
They live here in California. They live in Europe. They live, around the world, and they support their family in Brazil,
Yeah.
And make me very, very happy because I support them and I help them for that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we could spend another hour or two about maybe how do we fix some of the challenges of Brazil, because I know that's your home country still. Have you ever thought about going back, and how often do you go back?
I go in Brazil every year. Every year I go Brazil. I stay there 30 days, 40 days, 2 months. Every year I go Brazil. I visit my family, visit my association, my social project, and come back to the United States.
Wow. Well, it just appears like you're a blessed man, and that all the things you're doing makes you really, really happy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, I don't have a word for describe how my life is changed because I help others, because I help, the kids, everybody,
Well, and I think it's because also you work pretty hard too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You got to put the hours in, don't you?
Jesus Christ. I work 100 hours, bro.
Every week. That's a slow week, huh?
No, 100 hours a day.
From the time you wake up till it's go, go, go. Man.
I feel I work 100 hours a day. Oh my gosh.
Well,
my wife sometimes say, man, the day is a 24 hours. You look like 100 hours you work in the day, you know?
Well, and that kind of drive, I think, has kept everything going for you. And again, we're so, I think we're blessed on the podcast here for having you being able to be on with us, spend some time, tell us about your story and how you've come up. And so you go by Cavs, is that right? Everyone calls you Cavs?
Cavs, yes.
Cavs, okay. Well, the Hawaii Boss podcast crew now knows Cavs and how special his CJJ Family Academy, Hawaii provides for so many, and looks forward to planning for more people in Hawaii. Again, we love to catch up as things continue to grow for you, and maybe meet some of your competition winners and some of these young guys that are coming up, and put them on the map too. So, brother, we're excited that you came on for us.
Thank you, man, to invite me. Thank you for having me today. And the Pacific Federation is gonna be good help for kids in Hawaii as well.
Yeah.
When I started the social project in Hawaii, I need our academies, our teams in Hawaii, please support this federation, because we wanna help, kids in Hawaii as well.
Is there any place that we go? We just go on and email you, or how do we find out about the federation that you're trying to build?
We study everything is very brand new right now.
Okay.
And next week you have everything and start promote everything. But thank you so much. I can send to you all information, please. Just
just call Cavs over at the place, and he'll track it down for you and get you that information. So, brother, thank you so much. And how we say,
thank you so much, brother.
Right.
Poha.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
All right. Yeah.
Make sure to subscribe to Hawaii Boss and follow us on social media at Hawaii Boss Podcast at the links in the description. We'll see you soon in the boss's office.